lecturer, Department of Civil Engineering, Kuwait, alongside
myself, Roxana Parvin, postgraduate student, Department of Civil Engineering, Kuwait. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank all of you for your time and effort to join in this conference. We hope you will enjoy your stay at Kuwait campus during the conference.
We were proud about the successful completion of our last 6 consecutive conference event organized by the Department of Civil Engineering, Kuwait. The first 2 ICC events were held in each even year since 2012, and we had more than 200 delegates from all around the world in each of those events.
we are excited to announce that a record-breaking number of 600 delegates are participating in this conference.
The conference aims to provide an excellent opportunity for academicians, scientists, researchers, and civil engineering professionals to share and exchange ideas on the latest advancement in research, innovations, and state-of-art information in the field of civil engineering for sustainable development. Today, we are very glad to have Professor Dr. Mihir Ranjan Haldar, Honorable Vice Chancellor,
Khulna University of Engineering and Technology, Kuwait, as the chief patron of this conference. Professor Dr. M. Ajadur Rahman, a distinguished civil engineer of Bangladesh, as the chief guest. Engineer Muhammad Ali Akhtar Hossein, Honorable Chief Engineer, Local Government and Engineering Department, LGED, as the special guest. Professor Dr. Muhammad Rokunujaman, Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Khulna University of Engineering and Technology, Kuwait, as the conference chair of this inaugural ceremony.
Now, the volunteers will warmly greet the respected guests, presenting them with bouquet of flowers. Thank you for accepting our warm greetings. Now, we are going to start our inaugural ceremony by playing the national anthem of Bangladesh. I would like to request our attendees to stand up and join the national anthem of Bangladesh. Thank you. Now I Now, I would like to introduce our conference chair, Professor Dr. Mohammad Rukun Jaman. He is one of the senior professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, Kuwait, where he also served as the head of the department. With over 23 years of dedicated experience in active research and teaching in civil engineering, Professor Rukun Jaman has made significant contribution to the civil engineering field. He has published more than 37 journal articles, conference proceedings, and research articles, a renowned expert in geotechnical engineering in the southern region of Bangladesh. He has successfully managed and coordinated several government projects. Now, I would like to kindly request Professor Dr. Mohammad Rukun to deliver his welcome speech.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning, Honorable Vice Chancellor of KUET and Chief Patron of this conference, Professor Dr. Mihiranjan Handar. Very respected Chief Guest, renowned civil engineer of Bangladesh, retired Professor of KUET, Dr. M. Adul Rahman sir, and distinguished special guest and our alumni, Chief Engineer of Local Government Engineering Department, LGAD, MD Ali Akhtar Hussain, esteemed guests, speakers, participants, media personnel, on behalf of organizing committee, I would like to welcome you to KUET at 7th International Conference on Civil Engineering and Sustainable Development. I believe that some of you are first time at this clean and beautiful campus. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to express our gratitude and appreciation to all individuals who have contributed to our conference in various ways. A special thanks are extended to the reviewers of the conference for their thorough review of all the submissions, which is vital to the success of the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, the committee of the conference has thankfully received more than 1,018 papers from all over the world, where 448 of them are accepted and going to be presented orally in the 2 consecutive days. After the conference, some selected papers shall be forwarded to the Journal of Engineering Science, and Index conference proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference would be going on today and tomorrow, respectively, sharing ideas and findings about recent and ongoing sustainable developments, being resilient to climate change. We have arranged 6 keynotes in the major field of civil engineering, having renowned experts across the world. Hopefully, it would serve to nurture existing networks between researchers and create new networks among related institutions, which in turn would speed up developments and resolve new highlights to various discussed subjects. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Vice Chancellor for his patronization, as well as a special thanks to chief guest, a special guest to accept our invitation and for being with us, making this event auspicious. Grateful thanks to all sponsors like Chinese Enterprise Association Bangladesh, Iccesd Dredging, Olsen Concrete, Menard Bangladesh, Holcim, Max Group, Seven Rings, Spectra, and Samsung International. And lastly, thanks to all present audiences for their active participation that make it possible to carry out the conference. Finally, I would like to apologize for any unintentional inconveniences you may face during the two-day conference. Please enjoy the rest of your stay here in Kuwait. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your precious speech. Now, I would like to introduce our special guest, Professor Dr. Soban Mia. Professor Dr. Soban Mia is the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Khulna University of Engineering and Technology, Kuwait. He is one of the senior professors in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. He has dedicated more than 20 years in active research and teaching in Mechanical Engineering Department. He has published over 56 journal articles, conference proceedings, and research articles. He currently holds the position of chairman at IEB Khulna. Due to some unavoidable reason, he couldn't attend the ceremony.
It's time for the speech of our special guest, Engineer Muhammad Ali Akhtar Hussain. Before proceeding further, let me introduce him to you. Engineer Muhammad Ali Akhtar Hussain is the Honorable Chief Engineer of the Local Government Engineering Department. He was the former student of Department of Civil Engineering, Kuwait. He is the member of the Board of Trustees, Kuwait Alumni Association. He has had a remarkable career spanning over 34 years in LGD. His dedication and expertise led him to take on various roles in remarkable development projects. His exceptional work on the Sustainable Rural Infrastructure Improvement Project SRIIP earned him the Best Project Award from the Asian Development Bank for 3 consecutive years. Now, I kindly invite Engineer Muhammad Ali Akhtar Hussain to present his valuable speech to us.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the inaugural session of 7th International Conference on Civil Engineering for Sustainable Development 2024. They are present in the dais Dr. Niranjan Haldar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Khulna University of Engineering and Technology. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Ajadur Rahman, eminent and very famous civil engineer in Bangladesh, and Dr. Rukunu Jamal, the chairperson of the session. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and the students of this university, and also the research assistants. Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I'd like to welcome you all on behalf of Local Government Engineering Department. It's really a great pleasure and also an honor to be here to deliver in such a august gathering, full of highly qualified professionals, particularly in civil engineering. It's a good opportunity for me, and I never been in such a august gathering to deliver my speech. It's true, I'm also a little bit nostalgic to be here. If we see, look back, it is around 35, 40 years in this campus. I was not so good student of this institution, and my result is also not of a high performance. But actually I did not fail, but my result is not so gorgeous or so. Doesn't matter. Result does not matter. So you know that local government engineering department, it is the unique department, I would say, in the world. No, we cannot see in any other countries like LGED. The infrastructure at the rural or countryside actually developed by the local government of other countries, but only in Bangladesh, LGD is working to develop the rural infrastructures. Rural infrastructure actually confined with rural roads, connecting activities, connecting infrastructures, and also the market development for market facilities or marketing infrastructures, rural markets. These are the two concepts. LGD started with the BART concept with the 5 pillars. LGD started working with 2 pillars. One is Thana irrigation program. Another one is rural embankment construction, and also some very small quantity of drainage structures like culverts, very small culverts. No, only earthen works. Earthen embankment we actually built at the first time. Then we graduated to the building HVB roads at 80s, in 80s, and even up to 90s, mid-90s. But after then, we started constructing bituminous carpeting and rigid pavements. In my service life or job period, I can say that not a single road was there, paved road was there before 90s in Bangladesh. We are seeing the change in the rural economy as a whole, and also the overall economy of Bangladesh is lying on the lifeline like rural roads and rural markets. LGD started works with a vision. First vision was to provide any way to provide access to the rural poor, so that they can start their mobility from one place to other place, not for only to sell their commodities or products to other regional markets or higher markets, but also to sell their labor also. That's why in 90s, before 90s or 2000, manga like manga was very much prominent in Bangladesh, some part of Bangladesh. But after when I started providing connectivity by rural roads and also providing marketing facilities, there will change, dramatically change in rural economy. If we see the World Bank report, what are the impacts on rural roads? You can see the dramatic change, abnormal change in literacy rate, poverty reduction, malnutrition, and so many indicators actually increased dramatically. And only because of this, Bangladesh stands on a firm ground of farm economy. You have seen the recent disaster because of COVID-19 and also the war, Ukraine war. But Bangladesh did not feel much scarcity of food and also did not feel, the general people, my observation, the general people did not feel much constraint or hardship still, only because of the mobility from one place to another place. They can easily so you will be surprised that around 350,000 kilometers of roads we have created, and also the 1.6 million meter bridges and culverts we have constructed throughout the world. And so many rural markets, primary schools, cyclone shelters, and even other infrastructures. Huge assets we actually created. These assets are now is a challenge for us for their sustainability and also for the maintenance and operation. This is one of our challenges, but still we are struggling. And development is easy, but operation and maintenance is not so easy. The construction, it is also a matter because the quality of works, if we cannot achieve, we cannot say that this structure is sustainable or durable. Sustainability is a huge term, at least in three aspects. Sustainability in terms of environment, in terms of social aspects, and another one is durability of any infrastructures. Previously, we did not pay much attention to these cross-cutting issues, that is environmental issues, social issues, and even the climate resilience, and also the disaster resilience latest. But we have to think of it. The researchers and the students of the civil engineering and the professionals, they are working hard. We are shouting much on sustainability and climate resilience, but we are doing very much less. We have a lot of scope to do much in this line. And LGD is an ideal organization to adapt the new innovation. Innovation in not in conventional construction methods. Even we have to choose the new construction method. Suppose we are just confined with the small structures. Suppose in one small culvert. Many countries, many developed countries actually started practicing modular or prefabricated structures. But still, we are struggling. Not researchers, not professional, not businessmen. Nobody is coming up to think of introducing prefabricated or modular structures in Bangladesh. We are shouting, but nothing is actually achieved. Nothing is actually in applications. The LGT is in the field of civil engineering application. And the institutions like KUET, RUET, these are the research or continuous development in this education. But we need sort of collaboration to the educational institution on civil engineering, also the applicants who are applying these education in the fields actually need collaboration and the combined effort to give a sustainable infrastructure initiatives. Another one is the conventional steelware stick to the system, the procurement system. Procurement system that we just tender out, contracted out, and give the responsibility to the contractor, both contractors and engineers. These are the very crucial relationship between the contractor and engineers. Still, all responsibility is still lying on the engineers. That should not be government engineers. These responsibilities should be given to the private entrepreneurs. They will create their engineering staff, engineering setup, and they will be responsible for the durability and sustainability for whatever it is. This sort of responsibility should be given to the private entrepreneurs. In case of LGT, burden is given repeatedly. The huge burden is now on an Upazila engineer and executive engineers. How they will work? In 90s and before 80s, a very small number of implementation was there. Budget was very limited. So we can provide full effort to implement this structure with full standards and quality. But recently, it is very. So we have to adopt the new performance-based contract. But still we are struggling. Nobody is, even our engineers are not interested to take up this sort of innovative system. I would not say much. I would request all the professionals on civil engineering. What happened in many sectors? so much development actually took place in Bangladesh, still taking place, and only because of the engineers. Not only the civil engineers, other disciplines are also there. But still, they don't all credit. Credit does not go to the engineers. Credit goes to other. But discredit definitely goes to engineers. This is the problem. Still struggling and to have the whenever when participate in a discussion, everybody will accept that engineers, doctors are of high standard, high merits, but the opportunities and facilities. So you have to think of not everybody is like me, is fortunate. And another one is the trend of going abroad. It is also increasing. Engineers, I have seen, I have heard in some word, some a proverb that technical persons should be unemployed so that the development of any country would. But the unemployed technical persons are going abroad. Once they don't have any good job in Bangladesh, they just flee to the other countries. They are taking place, they are participate in the development of their country, but they provide money to educate them, but they are not providing any inputs in developing our country. So not only we are not blaming the whole system. So at least we have to be pacified that at least we are doing something for the rural poor. The AGT people, they are not only the fully technical engineers. We call it they are social engineers. They are not solely responsible for the technical implementation of technical infrastructure. They are also to work with the local people, local representatives to motivate even to the rural people, rural ports, to motivate their, particularly in our small scale water sector projects. We have a lot of motivational works and engineers are doing it that line. So I have not talked much. I'm very much happy and very much feeling honored to be here again. And I'd like to thank and express my deep gratitude to the authority. They have invited me as a special guest in this August gathering. And finally, I'd like to conclude here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu, Bangladesh Chirochiru.
Thank you, sir, for your precious speech. Now it's time from the speech of our chief guest, Professor Dr. M. Ajadur Rahman. He is a retired professor of KUET, where he also served
as the head of the Department of Civil Engineering. He is one of the pioneer structural engineers in Bangladesh. He contributed his structural engineering expertise in major flyover projects. He also worked as an expert for the Podda Multipurpose Bridge project. Now I kindly request the chief guest, Professor Dr. M. Ajadur Rahman sir, to deliver his speech.
Assalamu alaikum. Respected Conference Chair, Professor Bekul Zaman, Chief Patron of this conference, Professor Dr. Mihir Ranjan Haldar, Vice Chancellor of KUET, special guest, Engineer Ali Akhtar Hussain, Chief Engineer of Local Government Engineering Department. Respected participants, my audience here, which includes academicians and practicing engineers, as well as, I believe, some students. It has been a great honor for me to be invited here to act as the chief guest of this conference. And some of my colleagues from KUET, who I met yesterday, were commenting that it's a change from the norm of inviting politicians and leaders to adorn the chair of the chief guest in gatherings like this. So a humble person like me, who is just a mystery, I call myself, to be invited for this respected position. So thank you, the organizing committee and the university authorities, for giving me that honor, which I hardly deserve. So this conference is the second I'm attending in the series of conferences on sustainable development held biannually at this university. I came here maybe 4 years ago. So in 2020, perhaps, as far as I remember, and presented a keynote paper at that time. And I fell in love with this institute, to be honest. I heard about it before. I came here and I was overwhelmed by the works of the founders of this university and erstwhile BIT, and before that, Kulna Engineering College. Professor Hannan, I respectfully remember his name. He was there with me 4 years ago when I came here, but today I don't see him. Maybe he's too frail to move anymore. May Allah give him long life and give him the capacity to guide you and us all. Now, this is a research paper presentation meet of professionals in our field and civil engineering in particular. So people here of all ages, I can see people not as old as me, perhaps, but then senior people presenting papers. And also I can see very young engineers doing research and presenting their research findings. These presentations for the young ones will contribute greatly to their future development. They will be encouraged and they will build upon the experience they gain from these conferences like this. Now, research is mostly done by academicians all over the world. I was talking to one of my colleagues, Dr. Akib Hassan, was mentioning that the fundamental researches are given to the university faculty, but the applied researches in our engineering profession are done by the industry themselves, by their R&D cells. In Japan, he was mentioning, as where he was educated. But other than that, I think there will be R&D sections in the industry, in every industry. There will be R&D departments, and those R&D people are equipped to do research. But then the help of the academicians, the depth of knowledge of the academicians should be realized. These conferences here in most countries, like most universities over the world, are held to encourage researchers from the academic arena. Research is civil engineering department in civil engineering discipline. Civil engineering is a broad discipline, by far the broadest in the engineering sector. There are divisions like 5 or 6 divisions. Previously there were 5. Nowadays I hear of the 6th division as well. Now these researches can be of two kinds. One is the fundamental research, they call it, which addresses the fundamental issues, the analyticals of the topic, of any problem. And the other is applied research, which is directly implementable in the industry. Fundamental research as such does not directly benefit the industry. Fundamental research benefits the development of knowledge bank of the professionals. It expands the horizon of knowledge. It does not directly contribute to the industry. It cannot be directly applied to the industry, but they form the basis of all applications developed later on. For example, the building code, for example, is an example where the findings of researchers done earlier are accumulated. The building code drafters, the authors, they don't invent the knowledge themselves. These knowledge was accumulated over the years by research of the academicians and other researchers, industrial researchers, and they are not addressed to a particular application at that time when the research was done. But then the research findings have enhanced our understanding of the fundamental problems, and therefore the code is just an accumulation, the compilation of all these research findings and knowledge gained by the research. Applied research, on the other hand, has got direct application to the industry. In fact, applied research is undertaken mostly to satisfy certain or to find answer to certain industrial questions. Immediate, for example, if I quote an example regarding this type of research, say when the tall buildings were the fad, like in the early 60s. In the early 60s and in the late 50s and early 60s, the research trends were both the clear division between the two types of research, the fundamental and the applied, were there also. The examples are the tall building research was kind of applied research, where the design office was frantically looking for ways to build higher and higher buildings and how to tackle the earthquake forces, how to tackle the wind forces in tall cantilever structures. Just a building is just a vertical cantilever for that kind of loading. So various kinds of structure forms were invented, especially by our noted engineer from this country, origin roots in this country, F.R. Khan, Professor Rahman Khan. He invented quite a few structural forms that let him build taller and taller structures, the tallest in the world at the time. The tube in tube, the bundle tube concept was there, developed. So this was an application, or this was an example of applied research. He needed to build, so he researched into it, how to build, and the outcome came. On the other hand, the finite element development of finite element techniques, the researchers working in the same time frame, about 20 years from 50s to 70s, early 70s, finite element method was being developed. Its ultimate beneficiary was industry at large, not only civil engineering, structural engineering, but environmental engineering, electrical engineering, network engineering, everywhere. Finite element has been applied. It is a mathematical concept. It was done mostly by mathematicians, and its application to aerospace industry was the first application. Then it came into structures, then it was transpired to environment, water pollution, air pollution, and so on, electrical engineering, electrical field density, and other things that they analyzed with it. So this is the mathematical tool that was developed. It is an example of fundamental research. The finite element analysts at that time, the finite element researchers, they developed various kinds of elements, various calculation methods, etc. In our country, since we are standing here on this soil, we should talk about our environment, our perspective. The research has got a conflict, apparent conflict with consultancy by the faculty. Now, there is controversy among, there is debate about suitability or acceptability of consultancy services provided by the faculty. Is it their duty, or is it only the duty of professional consultants to do consultancy? Should the faculty do only research? Or is there any conflict really between consultancy and research? In fact, in my mind, I did not really find any conflict between these two. The consultancy is a tool for expanding knowledge, so is research. Knowledge expansion is not an individual knowledge. My knowledge is this much, I want to expand it, so I do research. No, it's not so limited. The knowledge of the world, the knowledge of our discipline can be expanded by each and every little research you do. For example, a person doing PhD from KUET or in KUET on a particular topic, like increasing or utilizing concrete ingredients, like someone is talking about slag, maybe blast furnace slag. Dr. Akib, your paper is also on this, I think. So mixing black blast furnace slags and changing the properties of concrete, etc. So this, what happens? That kind of research, or all other research for that matter, has expanded the total knowledge bank that the world possesses today. The world did not know much in 1960s about concrete. The world did not know that concrete exists about 400 years ago. Gradually, the world is developing more and more high-strength concretes. Today, when I was a student, 2,500 psi was, or maximum 3,000 psi concrete strength was being conceived. Today, I am building structures with 50 megapascals and more, no problem. And if necessary, in special structures, we can go for 80 megapascals, no problem. Now, the time is short. Consultancy has got no conflict, but then the faculty consultancy should have any thinking. Should they devote totally for consultancy, or should consultancy be considered as a tool for pecuniary benefits, getting some extra money, or should it be considered as a tool for expanding one's knowledge? The faculty people should also consider that. Now, to conclude, I will skip some of the other things. And address the issue of the claim by some faculty members that there is not enough facility in this country to do research work. I would say it's rubbish. Definitely, the situation has changed. We don't need much facility to do research, especially fundamental research in this country, in anywhere in the world. The need for large computers is long gone. The need for rich library is long gone. Everybody has got pocket calculator can be used, a pocket mobile phone can be used to access the internet and get access to the knowledge bank of the world. Number one. Laboratory. Okay, I accept this argument that our laboratories are not that well equipped. Not many shaking tables are there in the universities. Not many structural testing frames or heavy structures laboratory have been established in this country. But then we don't need that. We have got another very important thing, very important ingredient for research. That is the brain that we have been given by our creator. It's there. The brain and mind of the researcher is the most important ingredient for preparing or for making or for performing a good research application and a good research finding. Lastly, to my young colleagues, to my young engineers who have graduated recently or have not yet graduated, the chief engineer has been talking about brain drain a while ago. People are leaving the country, working abroad, not doing their duty to this nation. The reverse is also true. People are coming back from abroad, disillusioned or whatever, and they are contributing. I am a son. Just keep in your mind one faith, young engineers, that we can do it. আমি কথাটা বললাম একদম অন্তরে গেছে নেন আমরা পারি প্লিজ মেক ইট ইউর স্লোগান আমরা পারি আমরা করে প্রমাণ দিয়েছি আমরা পারি ভবিষ্যতে আবার করব এদেশের প্রধানমন্ত্রীকে আমি 10 বছর আগে কুড়িল ইন্টারচেঞ্জ ওপেনিং এর সময় বলেছিলাম স্যার আমরা পারি আমাদেরকে সুযোগ দিন সুযোগ দিয়েছেন বলে পেরেছি ভবিষ্যতে আবার সুযোগ পেলে আবার পারবো এটা ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল না এটা কমিউনিটি আমার পুরো কমিউনিটি আমার ফেলো ইঞ্জিনিয়ারদেরকে সাথে নিয়ে আমি বলতে চাই আমরা পারি উই ক্যান ডু ইট উই উইল ডু ইট ব্যুরোক্রেটিক ট্যাঙ্গলস আমাদেরকে কষ্ট দেয় ব্যুরোক্রেটিক কমান্ড আমাদের ইঞ্জিনিয়ারদেরকে ফ্লারিশ করতে দেয় না বাট দেন সেটার একমাত্র মেডিসিন একমাত্র রেমেডি হলো যে আমার প্রফেশনে আমাকে এক্সেল করতে হবে আমাকে প্রমাণ করতে হবে আমি যা বলেছি ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এর জন্য সেটাই শেষ কথা ডাক্তার এবং ইঞ্জিনিয়ারকে তুলনা করুন ডাক্তার সাহেবরা রোগী সে যত বড় মন্ত্রী হোক আর ব্যুরোক্রেটি হোক সেক্রেটারি হোক ডাক্তার সাহেবের কাছে গেলে উনি বিড়াল হয়ে যান মিন মিন করেন ভাই আমার কি হলো দেখেন তো এখানে কেন ব্যথা করছে কদিন থেকে ডাক্তার যে ডায়াগনোসিস করে যে ওষুধ খেতে বলে উনি খুব মেনে চলেন বলেন না যারে মিয়া এটা কি দিলেন ওইটা দিলেন না কেন এটা বিদেশি ওষুধ ভালো ওইটা ওষুধ এটা দিলেন না কেন এটা দিলেন কেন এখানে এই সার্জারি করলেন কেন ওই সার্জারি করলেন না কেন কিন্তু ইঞ্জিনিয়ারকে উনি বলেন আপনি কি জানেন সেদিন আমি রাস্তা দিয়ে গেলাম ব্রিজ ফুটা হয়ে গেছে উপর থেকে স্ল্যাব ফুটা হয়ে পানি পড়ে যায় কিন্তু ছোট বাচ্চাদের পা ঢুকে যাচ্ছে কি বানান আপনারা এগুলা তো এটার আনসার আমাদের ইঞ্জিনিয়ার দিতে পারেন না মাথা নিচের দিকে করে রাখেন এবং বকা খান বসদের কাছে তো এই বসই সহ্য করেন তারা বলেই এরকম হয় আপনাকে কেন ফুটো হলো সেটা আপনাকেই বের করতে হবে ফুটোটাই আপনাকে আবিষ্কার করতে হবে সেটাকে আপনাকে প্রিভেন্ট করতে হবে আপনাকে ঠিক করতে হবে ভবিষ্যতে আপনার কাজগুলোতে যেরকম ভুল না হয় কেউ কিছু না বলতে পারে এবং একটা ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং ডিসিশন নেবেন আপনি বলবেন আমাকে এটা বলা হয়েছিল সেটা মানতে গিয়ে এরকম হয়েছে আমাকে কমান্ড করা হয়েছে আপনি কেন সেটা মানবেন আপনি আপনার ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং জাজমেন্টটা বলবেন তাতে আপনার ট্রান্সফার হয়ে যদি আপনাকে খাগড়াছড়ি চলে যেতে হয় কি আছে অসুবিধা কি আছে দেশটা আমার ওটা যাবো নাহলে চাকরি ছেড়ে দেবো বাট দেন আই উইল নট ডেভিয়েট ফ্রম দি ট্রুথ আই উইল নট ডেভিয়েট ফ্রম মাই কনভিকশন আমার বেস্ট চিন্তা যেটা আসছে যে বেস্ট ডিসিশন আমি দিয়েছি আমার জ্ঞান অনুযায়ী সেটার মধ্যে আমি স্টিক করবো So with that, I conclude. Thank you very much for bearing with me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your precious speech. Now, I want to request Professor Dr. Mihranjan Haldar, the chief patron of this conference, to present a crest to the special guest engineer Muhammad Ali Akhtar Hussain. Thank you, sir. Now I kindly request Professor Dr. Mihranjan Haldar, the chief patron of this conference, to present a crest to the chief guest, Professor Dr. M. Ajadur Rahman. I want to request Professor Dr. Mihranjan Haldar, the chief patron of this conference, to present a crest to the conference chair, Professor Dr. Mohammad Ruknul Jaman. Thank you, sir. Now, I kindly request Professor Dr. M. Ajadur Rahman, the chief guest of this ceremony, to present a crest to our chief patron, Professor Dr. Mihranjan Haldar. Thank you, sir.
Now it's time for the speech from our chief patron of the conference,
Professor Dr. Mihir Ranjan Haldar, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Khulna University of Engineering and Technology, KUET. He is a respected academician and a visionary leader who has tirelessly dedicated himself to the advancing of our institution. He is one of the senior professors in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, KUET, who has dedicated more than 36 years since 1986 to active teaching and research in Mechanical Engineering Department. He has published over 40 journal articles, conference proceedings, and research articles. He was a dean of the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, KUET, and also a syndicate member of RUET. Now, please welcome the chief patron of this conference, Professor Dr. Mihir Ranjan Haldar. Sir, I would like to request you to share your insightful speech with us.
Honorable Professor Dr. Mohammad Rukun Jaman, the conference chair, ICC ESD 2024. Respectable chief guest, Professor Dr. M. Ajadur Rahman, the former professor in KUET and distinguished civil engineer of Bangladesh. Honorable special guest, Muhammad Ali Akhtar Hussain, Chief Engineer, LGED. Distinguished guests, respected keynote speakers, and dear participants from home and abroad. My dear colleagues from civil engineering and other departments, officer and staff of civil engineering department, print and media personnel. Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning in the mild, cold, and sunny morning. Today, all of us are here in the inauguration ceremony of ICC ESD 2024. I really feel pleasure learning that Civil Engineering Department is going to organize their esteemed biannual conference, ICC ESD 2024, for the 7th time here at KUET. So far I know, in this year, 1018 abstracts were submitted, and out of that, around 550 has been selected for the presentation in the conference through a rigorous review process. There will be 6 keynote speeches from speakers of USA, Australia, UK, India, Hong Kong, and Bangladesh. There will be 8 parallel technical sessions. I hope all of you will enjoy mild cold weather here at Green and Clean KUET campus. Dear audience, through this sort of international conference, scientists and civil engineers have got a chance to share their knowledge between academicians and field engineers. So it acts as a bridge between two communities. Academicians could compare their research and design works with the works of field engineers. There are so many fields of research in various civil engineering areas. Many experts of different fields have been gathered here. So the participants will be able to know about many unknown areas and recent development research throughout the world. Participants will learn about recent development of research works and techniques to solve the physical problems. And also, the researchers will become more and more innovative. I believe this helps to materialize to construct a smart Bangladesh, the slogan of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina of Government of Bangladesh. No, I would like to conclude my speech here. Thanks everybody for your patience hearing. Jai Bangla, Jai Bangabandhu, long live Bangladesh.
Thank you, sir. This is the end of the inaugural program. Now there is an arrangement for refreshment at the refreshment venue on the north side of the auditorium. All the guests are requested to join there. Our keynote sessions will start at 11 a.m. Thank you all once again. Everyone, the keynote session will be held here. The keynote session will be held here, so everyone is requested to come at 11 a.m. at here.